That also we are going to use here joins for joining the tables
Okay.
in our dip down to the SCP. Means when we dip into going deep into our SCP above, when we are writing a coding. Okay,
Okay.
so then there are very too much. Do you have any questions so far?
I want to know for it is not a big problem. I want to know if after that I will have the document.
Okay, okay. This document.
Yes.
Yeah, I will try to share this with you.
Okay. I will start to create domain or because when I see
Hmm.
in the table column data element create a data element of ID.
Yes, yes.
You ask me
So,
to continue with that element of student name.
yes, yes, name.
When I double click,
Hmm.
which message I supposed to see?
Create a data element first. Did you see that message?
Create a data element. No. When I double click,
Hmm.
I don't see any message.
So what is there?
I say that when I double click, the case is empty. But down, I see object name missing. Enter a name.
You have double click here. See my cursor in my screen.
Yes, I see. It is the same thing like your screen.
Okay. You are seeing that message, right? Object name missing. Enter a name.
Yes, it is that message I see.
No, no. Click on change button. See my cursor. Change that one. Open in
Okay,
change mode.
okay. Display change.
Yeah.
Yes,
Now what you can see? The blank line.
yes. Okay, I see.
Okay. So now double click on this one again. If it is blank.
It is the same message. I click the same message down. Object name missing. Enter a name.
Same message. Open in
So
change mode. Open in change mode. Like this.
I change. Okay. Z student database table
Yes, yes.
is the name. I change the name. I click to change.
Yeah. Then what you are seeing?
Okay. When I click to change, I see the table. Z stud name, address, mobile, max. And when I double click, it is the same message. My screen
Mm,
is like your screen. Huh? I don't have different.
you are not able to share your screen, right? Let's see this table. Z student. Okay. You can see my screen.
Yes, I see your screen.
Okay, student ID, name, address, city, and status. So these are the fields. These are the data elements. In the data elements, they have created a domain, character, number of character is 10. Value range they have not given. Then field label, nothing is there. And now you can check how the database table looks like. Okay,
Yeah. Okay.
you need to go here, content. Click on
Okay.
content.
I click on technical setting.
No, no, not technical setting. This one,
Ah,
content.
content.
You can see your fields here. Student ID, name, address, city, status. Okay.
Yes, well, 1 minute, please.
Yeah.
When I was to the first page about dictionary, database table, that student, I click to display.
Display. Yeah.
Okay, when I click to display, transparent table, that student,
Now you can see the contents.
I see the content, but I cannot click here. It is transparent.
Click on that contents. Come like this.
I try to click, but it is not possible. I don't know why. I see content, but
Hmm.
button content is transparent.
Okay. This is how your database table and entries are looking like. Now you want to create an entry. So go to, if you want to create an entry in the
Yes.
table entry, then create student ID. What is your name, address, Cameroon, city?
Yaoundé or Yaoundé Y-A.
So you have successfully created your entry. Alfred Cameroon Dollar current student. Okay. So if I want to fetch your name only, so I will type Alfred here only. So your entry is coming, not all the things. Okay.
Okay, I see.
So this is how we can create our database table. You can check. Okay.
Okay.
You have to add the entries. You have to go here. You can add your table entries from here. Create entries. Now
Okay.
if you want to change the entry, then you can change it also. Okay.
Okay.
So this is how we are going to create a table, database table. So what we have learned, database table, fields, data elements, domains, and creating an entry. Okay.
Yes.
So can you try this creating one table, same table?
Yes, I will try to create table.
So this is your assignment, create a table. You can take the reference of this Z student and try to
Yes.
create your own. Okay.
Okay, no
This is your
problem.
assignment.
Okay, I will do it.
Okay, then we'll see the view data types type group in our next session. Okay, now I think it's 1 hour. So create this data table and show me. Okay.
Okay, okay.
So have you
Yeah,
ever worked on SAP, or have you ever? Yeah, you are working. That's great. So you are working on SAP itself, or on technical part?
technical part.
Okay, so you are working on technical part. That's very great. It's very nice to know that you are still working on this technical part. I think that would be easy for you to understand what SAP today, what I plan to cover. That I'll just make you understand what is SAP and what is ERP and what is the use of ERP, why we need SAP. So these are the things to cover on this, and what's the overview of SAP and what are the different modules SAP is providing, right? So SAP is a software company. So it is started in 1972 in Germany. So SAP in a broad, see, the first lesson which I want to give you is that we never spoke SAP. We always say
Yeah.
SAP. If you are working in SAP, and if you are a fresher, suppose after a period of time you met someone in an interview and you told that I am working on SAP, so outrightly you will be rejected because it's SAP, not SAP. Most of the people confuse, abruptly says it's SAP, but there is nothing called SAP. It's SAP, right? So the
Ah,
first lesson,
okay.
this is
If
the
if
first
it
lesson I just want to give. Yeah, it's SAP. Never call it SAP. In future, never call it. If you say it's SAP, it's very good. So SAP is the ERP software. That is the smaller things that is of no use, just to make you understand that this is a European multinational company founded in 1972, right? They develop software
yes,
solution for managing business operation and customer relationship. Now, what is ERP? So, could you please let me know what is ERP, what you are getting, what you are clicking, if you just came to know what is ERP? See, ERP in a nutshell, what I can explain to you, ERP is enterprise resource and planning. So, if there is any enterprise, of if there is any production unit, so there are several small departments, and we have to handle those departments to make a better company. Means to make a company run, we have to handle small departments. On the club effect of that, the company will run, right? So let us talk about not nowadays, previously what was happening in the era of 1950 or 1960s, at the time of 1970s. Let us talk about that time. At that time, what happens, see, in any production unit or in any big enterprises, we are having these broader departments. One is the sales department that focuses on the sales of the product that we manufacture, that an enterprise is manufacture. Another one is inventory, finance, HR, production. There are so many small departments that varies based on the enterprise, the type of the enterprise, right? So previously, what happened? My screen is visible, right? I am scrolling down. So is it visible to you?
yes.
Yeah. So previously, what happened? See, I have created some scenarios for you to make you understand that what's the use of ERP, why we adopted, why we moved towards SAP ERP, right? So previously, what was happening and what was the issue the enterprise was facing, and then the SAP will born. So I just want to explain you the need why the SAP born. So previously, what happened? See, if you read one by one, if I'm reading for you. Just understand that previously, prior in 1960 or 1970s, 80s, what was happened? Suppose this is a scenario. Any client contact the sales team to check the availability. Suppose is there any client and they just want to purchase a product from an enterprises who is manufacturing any product. So what happens? They will directly contact the sales team because sales team is specialized in selling the product, right? So client will directly call the sales team to purchase some product. So previously, what happened? Sales team has to approach the inventory department. They have to check the availability of the product, whether the product is in the stock or it's out of the stock, right? Then after inventory department, the sales team may approach the production planning department if it is out of a stock to manufacture the product. If product is available, then the inventory department will move it to the sales department, then inventory department may again contact the production planning department to purchase the raw material. So there's a very troublesome process, right? And once the goods had been sold by the sales department to the client, then sales department has to contact to the finance department to update the invoice that what has been generated, and finance department has to take the amount from the client, right? So these are the small departments and they are so disconnected, so it's very tough to understand to communicate between both the departments. Typical business scenario, if you are talking about in any country, in any region, if you are having a manufacturing company, let us say I'm taking an example of a shoe company, that's a manufacturing company, right? So if we are having any manufacturing company, as just I told previously, it has many business units, or we can say small departments. So they previously what happened that they have to communicate from one department to another department, another to another to another. So it's a long chain. Any department has to communicate to any department. There was no way they can simply contact in a one click, right? So what was the disadvantage, we will see. So previously there were, so based on this manner we can divide enterprises on two way: decentralized system and centralized system. So as the name suggests itself, what is decentralized means everything is cluttersome and there is no centralization, there is no control over that, just like previously happened before the ERP, before the SAP was born. Every system, every manufacturing company, and every department was decentralized. There was not any single system where on a single click any owner or anyone can understand, anyone can communicate to all the departments on a real time. So decentralized system. Now if we talk about centralized system, there comes an ERP. So how ERP is born, so you understand what's the need, means why there was a need of ERP. There was a need of ERP because it was very difficult to communicate between various departments, right? So there was a need to generate one system. That's why SAP came into the picture, and they have generated SAP ERP and they provided SAP ERP solution. So what they have provided, they provide a centralized system. They you can understand, suppose it's a big company, they have put one server in the middle, and through that server they can communicate with all the departments easily. So this is the one by one I'll explain you. So in a nutshell, I explain you what was the disadvantage of the decentralized system. Because of these major problems, we have to move towards the SAP solution. So there were two major problems that were faced by the decentralized system. One, data is maintained locally at the individual department, and department don't have access to information or data from other departments, right? There was also redundancy of data. There was also redundancy of data. Suppose I am having an invoice of 100 units of product, 100 unit of shoes. So that invoice details has been maintained by sales department. That invoice details also has to maintain by the finance department to generate the revenue, to collect the revenue from the client, right? And that invoice may have be present at the production planning department also, because they have to forecast the production accordingly, they have to update their stocks. So means that one single invoice, three departments are maintaining the entries. So there was redundancy of data too. So there was various problems. So if we are talking about a small factory or a small organization, it can be maintained. I'm not saying it was easy, but it can be maintained at some level. But if you are talking about a bigger company, just like Baker Hughes or Airbus, if they are having several plants across the globe, not in one country, not in one particular area, if they are having several plants over the globe, around the globe, so what then this system will have? So this was a basic issue with the decentralized system. So now in the centralized system, that's the beauty of the centralized system. So these are some disadvantages. No real time inventory information. There was no real time inventory information. This is a guy who is calling to purchase some products. They have to communicate to the sales department. Then sales department has no real time inventory information. That was a major drawback. So there are some scenarios also explained to you. Till this point, are you getting what is decentralized system and why there was a need of SAP ERP? Till here, any question to you?
Okay, it is okay for me. I see your screen.
Okay, that's great. Great. Just say okay. That would be enough for me to make me believe that you are getting my point. Don't make it as a one-way channel. I just want it to be a two-way channel, right? So that you
Okay,
understand if there is any query, just stop me in the middle. Don't wait for me to complete it. If there is any query, just stop me. If you are not getting any point, just stop me there itself.
okay, no problem. I will stop you if I don't understand.
Okay. So what will happen in the decentralized process if sales inventory, if that information is not updated, means the sales department has to communicate to the production planning department, to the inventory department. So what happens sometimes, it may result in the loss of revenue and customer dissatisfaction. How? Means how can we say that? Suppose if there is an emergency, suppose any client got a instant order, that instant order of 500 shoes, they have to fulfill it on the next day. So client has to purchase raw material from some industry, and they directly contribute to the sales department that they want 500 pair of raw material.